In this episode of What's Working Now, we are going to talk about the top 10 personal finance rules you'll never learn in school. In college, what did you learn about personal finance? Credit? Investing? What about money management? Or did you only take the courses that were required for graduation? For the most part, these classes, like calculus, astronomy, and anthropology, were meaningless to most people. The longer I've been out of college, the more disappointed I've become with how much information was left out of my studies. The world tells us to go get an education, get a job, and everything will be fine. But, sadly, it is not that simple. For you to succeed in the world, you need to know a lot more about money than what school will ever give you. Personal finance is the foundation of all success stories. To save you from having to learn from your mistakes, our team of experts has compiled a list of the 10 most important rules that everyone should follow in order to be ahead of the game with their finances. Grab a pen and paper because these are the 10 most important personal finance rules you'll never learn in school. Before we begin, why not click the subscribe button and the bell notification icon so you never miss a video from us. Let's get started. 10. Purchasing your first house. You've probably heard the popular saying, if you want to buy a home, you need to save up to 20% of the purchase price for a down payment. If you do not, you will be required to pay private mortgage insurance, which could severely damage your credit. What you won't learn in school is that, while higher mortgage payments are unpleasant, the financial trade-off between paying more now and waiting to save up the 20% deposit may be worthwhile. When we look at macroeconomic factors in the United States over the last decade, we see that the appreciation rate of real estate has increased significantly while wage levels have remained stagnant. As a result, it is unrealistic to begin saving 20% of the home's value because it will only rise dramatically over time. The rule is that if you can comfortably save the money in at least 5 years, you should go for it. If it takes you longer, you'll be chasing a moving target as prices rise. 9. Conserve, conserve, conserve. They will teach you in school to save at least 10% of your income. But, let's face it, this isn't enough to retire on. Unless, of course, you are a millionaire. A good savings percentage for most of us with regular paychecks will be between 25 and 40%. We're not saying 10% is completely useless. It could be a great starting point for developing your savings muscle. Reduce your expenses and unnecessary costs to save more. Instead of buying that cup of coffee every morning, put the money in a higher interest savings account. 08. Emergency Reserve Fund. You might not have heard of an emergency fund in school, but you're fortunate to have us to teach you about it. According to recent statistics, up to 40% of Americans do not have enough money to cover a $400 emergency. This is a concerning statistic that demonstrates how many people disregard the importance of having an emergency fund. What if you got fired today? Would you be able to cover your expenses? The golden rule is to have 6 months of expenses saved up somewhere, but we believe that the more you can save, the better. 07. Budgeting fundamentals. Budgeting is crucial in life, but you won't learn about it in school. Unfortunately, failing to understand the fundamentals of budgeting while in school can put you at a disadvantage immediately after graduation, especially if you move out. Not knowing how to manage bills and distinguish between wants and needs can lead to one experiencing one hardship after another. Everyone should understand how to plan a lifestyle that is supported by earned income. This includes knowing how to budget for all bills while still leaving enough money for necessities like groceries and savings. But, let's face it, as important as budgeting is, no one enjoys keeping track of every single penny they spend. Instead, you can use a technique known as tactical budgeting. This entails developing budgets and plans over an extended period of time. For example, you can identify what you need each month and create a budget that includes your needs, wants, and associated costs for the next 6 months. You can then separate the amounts into different accounts based on the plan you created to ensure you don't go over budget. Then, to stay on track, you can refer to your list on occasion. 06. Compound interest. Compound interest is possibly the best kept secret in finance. Time is the one thing that every young person has an advantage over everyone else. While they may not achieve their financial objectives overnight, they do have an advantage when it comes to investing. All they have to do is use the power of compound interest. Young people can amass significant wealth by putting small sums of money aside in a high-interest account, which will compound over time. Here's a great example of how important compound interest is. If you were given two options, the first being a $3,000 bill and the second being a penny that doubles in value every other day, isn't it true that most people would go with the first option? You most likely did as well. However, if you do the math, the second option is worth $10 million after only 30 days. If that doesn't persuade you to take advantage of this incredible opportunity to grow your wealth, I don't know what will. 05. Credit secrets. Most young people max out their credit cards shortly after receiving them. They end up with a life full of debt, where they are forced to pay huge chunks of interest rates, which in some cases results in late payments that can harm them. Most people are unaware of the significance of credit scores and maintaining a good credit history. However, if schools paid more attention to training students in this life skill, they would most likely be aware of the secrets. Here's what you should know. One of the most important aspects of your financial health is your credit score, which generally determines your financial position as an adult. A good credit score makes it much easier to buy a house, get a car, get a business loan, and achieve other goals in the future. We can no longer dismiss the significance of credit. Everyone should always know how to build credit and maintain a good credit score. Here are some pointers on how to do so. First, obtain a credit card. Most people believe that getting a credit card is a mistake, but it is actually very beneficial to your credit score. Let me give you an example. I have a friend named Kevin who, like many others, avoided getting a credit card after graduating from high school. Doesn't sound like a big deal, does it? However, when he began looking for a home and a car, he was unable to obtain a loan because his credit statement had not yet been established. When you get a credit card and use it, financial institutions keep track of all your transactions and interest payments. They will assign a score to your name based on your efficiency. When you apply for a loan, your credit score will determine the loan amount and interest rate. Second, always pay your bills on time. There's no getting around it. If money is due today, pay it today. 04. Insurance regulations. If you have anyone financially reliant on you, you should get life insurance. This could be your child, your spouse, or your parent. A term policy is preferable to a life policy because it provides coverage whenever it is needed. However, if no one financially depends on you, you should terminate the policy to save money. Get insurance for other aspects and assets you own in addition to life insurance. This includes your vehicle, home, valuable assets, and health. You can also obtain umbrella insurance, which covers multiple policies and guarantees a discount if purchased from a single insurer. Take your time comparing rates and features before deciding on a company to insure with. 03. Taxes. Taxation is such a broad topic that it is rarely covered in school. If you want to stay on the right side of the law, you must understand how they work. Learn how to calculate the tax rate and how much money you will be left with before you receive your first paycheck or make any sales from your business. This will assist you in determining whether a job offer will meet your financial needs and the best pricing strategy for your products or services. Fortunately, there are numerous online calculators that will do the grunt work for you. They will show you your gross pay, your tax liability, and the amount left in your account, also known as your take-home pay. A salary of $35,000 per year in Manhattan, New York, for example, will leave you with approximately $26,399 after tax deductions. Take note of the marginal tax rate that will affect your raise. A raise of $35,000 to $41,000 per year, for example, will not provide you with an extra $500 per month, but rather $345. Make it a habit to prepare your own tax returns. There's a lot of misinformation and bad advice available. Take care. 02. Take care of your health without insurance. A hospital visit for an injury such as a fractured knee can cost thousands of dollars. What happens if you can't afford your monthly health insurance premiums and end up in the emergency room? You may end up having to borrow money to pay your medical bills, putting other people's money at risk. Doesn't seem fair, does it? If you don't have medical insurance, get one right away. Taking care of your health can also save you a lot of money. This includes eating the right foods, maintaining a healthy weight, exercising regularly, and avoiding excessive alcohol and other addictive substances. You don't want to be sorry, so take care of your health right now. 1. College debt isn't completely necessary. Contrary to popular belief, you do not need a student loan to obtain a college diploma. 85% of new graduates complain about their high school debts and the large sums of money they must pay off as soon as they begin working. It is not always necessary to obtain these loans to pursue your degree. Some colleges, such as Davidson College in Charlotte, assist students in avoiding debt. Other schools provide excellent education at a fraction of the cost of private school tuition. You could also go to school part-time, work while you study, enroll in a less expensive school, graduate quickly, or start your education at a community college. However, we do not believe that debt-free education should be the goal of all students. In some cases, it may be worthwhile. If you want to start a high-paying career, a few $1,000s shouldn't stand in your way. However, do not make this debt the primary reason for your existence as a college student. There are numerous other options for achieving your career objectives. That's all for today. We hope you learned something useful. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video or think it would benefit a friend or someone else, please share it. Also guys, please do me a favor and click on the bell icon and enable notifications if you're a subscriber. If you're not, well, welcome to the channel, and I hope you do subscribe and enable notifications. With that said, thanks for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.